Hi, and welcome to today's podcast. Today, I've got the lovely Rachel Treece with me. She is the best-selling author of the Henka Effect and CEO of the FTS Global. So thank you, Rachel, for joining us today. It's great to have you with us. I'm going to be showing people your book. So this is a book that Rachel's recently written, and I'll be giving you details later of how you can access that if you wish to. So Rachel, thank you first of all for agreeing to take part of this podcast with us today.
It's a real pleasure.
Thank you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Rachel?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Rachel, CEO of FTS Global and the Henka Institute. I was born in Great Britain in the north of the country. And at age 21, I went to work for an asset management company in London and very quickly got shipped across to Luxembourg. So I've been in Luxembourg for now 31 years.
Wow.
Started my career in asset management marketing and moved into human resources, and then became an entrepreneur when I was about 26, 27 years old, first of all in executive search, and then in learning and development. And it's learning and development and coaching that I became really passionate about after my daughter was born.
Excellent. That's really good. And Rachel, so you've written a book called The Henka Effect. And that's a brilliant book. I've already read it, so I'm really excited. I need to put you in a review on Amazon. But just to tell us a little bit about the Henka Effect, would you like to tell us a bit more about it?
So the word Henka, it's the Japanese word for transformation, has a slightly different meaning from change or transformation in the English language. It's a bit like turning lead into gold or a caterpillar moving into a butterfly. That very special transformation is the word Henka. And it came to mind, I was on holiday about 3 or 4 years ago, and one of those vacations where you're really relaxed and the body's really relaxed, and started thinking about some of the work we were doing with leaders in organizations worldwide. And really, I guess the metaphor is, feeling that quite often it was sticking plaster work as opposed to holistic work.
Yeah.
And so Henka was born out of that sort of experience myself, knowing that the organization, the word organization has the word organ in it, the word corporation has the word corpus in it, both parts of the body. So what Henka is about creating a strong and resilient body at its heart.
Brilliant. I love in the book how it is about the whole body, the whole holistic approach, really, and the coaching relationship between the parties in the business. And I also love in the book how you talk about knowledge and how that is less important, really, than the imagination, because I think that gives so much freedom to people within businesses. Do you agree with that?
I totally agree with that. In fact, a wonderful gentleman who wrote the foreword to the Henka Effect, his name is Terence Mowry. He said, imagination is your North Star. And so in my experience of working with leaders and with organizations, it is about breaking boundaries and thinking about what the future of work might be, and that is all about imagination. Knowledge in some ways can actually keep us back in an old paradigm. So yeah, we're passionate about imagination at the Henka Institute.
Excellent. Yeah, because I think sometimes knowledge can restrict us, can't it? Whereas that imagination is giving us much more freedom, and it's giving us freedom to work together.
Absolutely.
So, and I love the way Henka is all about the coaching sessions, really, coaching people together. Do you want to speak a little bit more about the coaching, how that all works in the relationships?
Yeah, so when people think about coaching, a lot of people that maybe haven't really experience what coaching is, think of it like sports coaching, which is actually more mentoring. So the difference between coaching and mentoring is mentoring can be more directive in nature, whereas coaching is not directive in nature at all. So the best phrase I've got for it is, in an organization, if you want to create a culture of agency, which is something that I'm really passionate about, we say let them hoist their own sails. This is about asking those powerful questions, looking at things from different perspectives, suspending judgment, so that the people within the organization are able to take that innovation, move things forward, shape things, drive things without that sort of hierarchical energy. So it's a little bit like parenting. You know, if we have a toddler, you know, okay, at the beginning we might hold their hands a little bit, but we don't hold their hands entirely. We let them try and fail.
Absolutely.
That's what the real power of coaching is all about. It's not woolly, it's not fluffy, it's applicable right from board and boards right through the organization. So
absolutely, I love that, really. And it is about, I love the analogy there with the child, really, you know, how you're leading them, really, but ultimately they're letting go of the hand, aren't they, and they're taking the lead, really. And I think that's what coaching is about as well, isn't it? You can gently lead them and then they take responsibility and go forward. But it's having that relationship as well, just as a parent has a relationship with the child. I think it's important that the employer has the relationship with the employee. And I can bring that into my own experience, where I personally experienced a breakdown, Rachel, but I had an amazing boss who worked with me during that whole process and brought out the best for the business, brought out the best for our relationship. And just in working together, we were able to produce something much stronger. And I think that's where the coaching comes in, isn't it? If you give people the freedom, you get a much more solid relationship and a much more solid product and productivity, I think.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you know, we're all human beings, and one of the greatest things in a whole coaching culture or philosophy is that sense of safety. You know, so, you know, we can talk about psychological safety or safe space or a trusting environment. You know, if you feel safe, then you're going to walk much faster than if you don't feel safe.
Absolutely. You talk about a safe space in your book. Do you want to just explore a bit on that, Rachel? Do you want to just tell us a bit more?
So a safe space, I talked to the fantastic Stephen Shedletsky, or Shed as he's known to me, and we discuss you know, the power of the safe space together. For me, it's one of the most important parts of creating that coaching philosophy. Let's imagine a board, you know, which is full of, you know, very, very strong individuals, possibly with egos, and you know, they need the egos to make those decisions. But unless that safe space is created, you know, they can't challenge in the way they might really want to challenge, or they can't be vulnerable in the way they might want to be vulnerable. And that's at the basis of boards, of teams, and feeling that it's okay to speak up and say what you want to say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's building that culture, isn't it? And it takes time to do that.
It takes time and it takes skill, because it sounds really easy on, you know, but some of these easy sounding things like listening, when I trained to be a coach, probably the most difficult skill of all, because you're listening really to what's not being said.
Absolutely.
That's level 3 listening. So things that sound simple take a lot of practice to really understand what they mean.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with that, actually. And also building that culture, it's also building trust as well, isn't it? It's trust in a relationship. Do I really trust this person to say what I'm thinking? And can I really share my ideas? What are they going to think about me? Are they going to judge me and things? So there's listening, like you said, but there's also that trust element, isn't there?
Absolutely. And again, we are animals, and trust is what makes the world go round.
Mm. How do you help an organization to move into the anchor effect, really? Because sometimes for some people that can be a big game changer, can't it, to move into that new way of thinking?
Yeah,
And
it takes time. As I said, this isn't a sticking plaster for an organization. This is something that an organization really needs to want to do, and believe in. So typically we'd probably work with, the exco and then the exco -1, and put in place programs, giving those leaders coaching skills, but allowing them space to then go away and reflect and practice those skills, and then come back and go away, reflect and practice those skills. So that's typically how we work. There are some larger organizations that might want some specific people to be really heavy hitting coaches so they can help coach in the organization. But for us, the most sustainable and probably cost effective solution is probably to put a large number of people through things like a leader as coach program.
How long does those programs last? Is that dependent on the size of the organization?
Totally depends on the size of the organization. Typically probably around 9 months, with an intervention every month would be a good way of working. We can do it much faster than that, but you've also got to allow time for reflection.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely. So how does it work in practice, Rachel? Do you go into the organization? Do you run training sessions in there? Is it over Zoom? And how are you working with the organization? Does that vary depending on that organization, I guess?
I would say mostly, to be honest with you, over Zoom. For the kind of work that we're doing with coaching, Zoom's really practical. There are breakout rooms. It allows safe spaces to be created, so facilitators go in and observe. Of course, we can do this face to face, and there are demands for that now. But when it is face to face, you need a lot of space to be able to have all these rooms created. So it depends on the client. And most of the things we do, of course, are always tailored to client needs.
Absolutely. I guess they need to be, really, because every client is unique, aren't they? And that their needs are unique, although it's a common ground, the Henka Effect. It's there's still unique relationships you've still got to think about, and
unique
the way they're working,
and the way they're currently structured.
Absolutely.
Where they want to go to is always different. So and it's the same way. Every body, human body, is different. It has very different needs. So whilst one can have certain philosophies about human bodies, there are also things that we need to respect that are about an individual body. So
absolutely. Yeah, excellent. Rachel, I know we're going to be needing to draw to a close very shortly. Is there anything else you want to explore about the Henka Effect, or that you've got coming up on the horizon that you want people to be aware of?
So a couple of things that we're going to be launching in the next couple of months. We're going to be launching a certified board governance coach. So really sort of focusing on board level. And probably, related a lot to the work that you do is a certified resilience coach, certified well business coach, it's going to be called. So coaching helps with agency in organization. It helps with the inclusion agenda. We already have a product which helps support the inclusion agenda in organizations.
Yeah.
Resilience and mental health, they're huge topics, and coaching can help support that agenda too very much. And ultimately, most organizations are about performance.
Yeah,
absolutely. If you get all of those other things right, then it's a reason that the organization is going to be successful. So
yeah, absolutely. I think that's so true, isn't it? Once you get everything right, once you get all the bricks in place, then the organization can just move and just be empowered to do what it's skilled at, really. And it's building those relationships, isn't it?
yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, I think what you do is a brilliant work, Rachel. So, I really want to wish you well as you continue in all of that work. And I want that to become fruitful for you as an organization and for you as an individual, because I know you have a real passion for the Henka Effect. And so I want to promote that. So thank you for that.
We are really passionate about it. It's I guess it's organizational mental health and physical health. So
yeah, absolutely. Just before we finish, Rachel, are there any specific strategies that you follow to help your own mental health and well-being? Any tips?
I would say, I'll be really honest, I didn't really ever have many mental health issues until I hit the menopause. It was my 2022 joy, which hit me, as many women will probably be able to say, yes, Rachel, I totally get you. So one of the things that I've adopted, which I'd done before, but now I'm really putting it in place, is there's a wonderful priming exercise by Tony Robbins, which involves deep breathing, first of all, then work on gratitude, and then some work on visioning and imagination, going back to your first question. And whatever reason, I personally find that a really healthy thing for me to do.
Brilliant.
And it's helping me through this challenging time.
Through this season of life. It's can be difficult, can't it? Absolutely. Well, those are great tips for people to take away as well, the breathing and taking that space. So yeah, so that's brilliant on that. Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to share just before we finish?
No, just a big thank you to your viewers and to you, Sue, for having us on your wonderful show. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
That's my pleasure. Thank you. So can I just say thank you there to you, the viewers, for listening to us today. It's been great to have Rachel with us, and I want to wish Rachel well over the coming weeks and months and years as she continues with the Henka Effect. So thank you for your time today. Speak to you again shortly. Take care. Bye.